Hello YouTube, Will Rocket here from NitroCarnage.com. We're going to do a little project today. Got some of these buku power caps. Basically a plastic little cap. Comes with some shims. And the purpose of this is to keep dust, dirt, and grit, everything off your bearing here, getting into your case and ruining your crank. See those scores? That kills the seal between the crank and the case, which will cause an air leak and give you trouble tuning. So today we're going to put some of these caps on. The LRP 32, it's already sealed up, broken in, and we're going to put some caps on this, and hopefully we get a few more gallons of life out of her. So what we want to do is remove the flywheel. We're actually going to take some brake clean and we're going to clean the area, the flywheel. We're also going to take notice to clean this edge right here. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to clean it up, then we're going to come back and we're going to apply some of this high-speed accelerator, plastic activator, and some buku high-speed removable wicking grade thread sealer. We're going to be applying that primer, the accelerator, to this edge of the block right here, right on the top right here, and right on the side. We're also going to be applying it to the inside of the cap. Now that the block is nice and clean, we have a nice clean cap, we're going to start to apply the accelerator. This dries very fast, so you have to be quick when you apply it. Get a nice coating all the way around that edge. Remember that if you're doing this to an older engine, you're going to want to definitely make sure you clean the bearing inside and out before you seal this, because you don't want to seal any contaminants inside the motor. Okay, now that we have that done, we're going to begin to pack a little bit of brake lubricant into the disc. Once, I don't know if you can see it, but once all that primer dries, we'll begin to pack it, and we'll pack a little on the bearing here. We'll push that down. We'll apply 2 shims on your normal setup. I found that on my other LRP, 2 shims work perfect. So I'm going to pack this with some grease here. I'm going to pack around the bearing, and then we'll get ready to put the flywheel back on. Now that we have our grease packed in all around the bearing and in the cap, I'm going to put the cap on, and we're going to fit it snugly onto there. All this grease will squish out and you'll be able to, it'll turn translucent. You'll be able to see your bearing, you'll be able to see the grease, you'll be able to see the seal that you're providing. Okay, we're going to remove this excess grease and then push the cap down a little bit more. You can see it's becoming translucent. You can start to see the bearing here. Now now that the cap is seated firmly, you can actually see your grease, see the bearing. You can see a little bit of air bubbles here. Got to work a little bit of grease under there, work it around, get all those voids out. Once you've done that, you can install 2 of the shims, put your collar back on, and assemble your flywheel as typical. Now, what we want to do is we're going to use some of this self-wicking high-speed thread locker here. We're going to apply it right to where the cap meets the block. And that's going to wick in and seal that plastic cap to the block to stop any leaks from coming in through there, any dust and dirt getting in there. Get the one coat set up and then recoat it. So I'm going to wait for that to dry a little bit. I'm going to apply another coat. I'm going to wipe off all the excess grease, make sure none of that gets on my flywheel, my clutch shoes, my bell, any of that. And we're going to hope we get a lot more gallons out of this motor. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.